Thank you for joining us. Coach, can you give us an opening statement about tonight's game?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of credit to Tennessee. I thought Drew Beam was really, really good. We had our chance at one inning. Obviously, we didn't capitalize. At the end of the day, I thought that, they got the big hit and they capitalized, and we could not do that. I thought top to bottom we pitched the ball pretty dang well. But they got it done with runners in scoring position, and we didn't. It's credit to them. The good thing is we lost, but we ain't done. So we'll bounce back, and we'll be ready to roll on Tuesday.
Thank you, Coach. Open questions, a few for Parks and Vance. Any questions for the players? D1. Yeah. We'll go 1 and 2.
Joe Healy, D1 Baseball. The Parks coach mentioned it, that Beam was really good tonight. What did you see from him? How do you feel like you guys attacked him and did or did not succeed against him?
Yeah, I thought he did a good job. First time through the order, kind of attacked us with fastballs. And then the second time around, he did a good job landing those off-speed pitches to get ahead in the count and kind of kept you off balance. So that's kind of a credit to him and his preparation tonight.
Okay, right here.
Adam Smith with Inside Carolina for Parks and Vance. If you don't mind, about I guess it was the 6th inning, Vance hits the homer, but then, as Coach alluded to, you sort of ran out of that rally there with D'Onofrio. Just maybe the frustration there. You got 2 runners on, and you're not able to score some more when you needed it. Like, what did you see happening there, and how it sort of impacted your chances?
Yeah, I think that was, a big spot for us in the game. But, sometimes in baseball you don't come through. D'Onofrio's done such a good job for us this year. And, that situation didn't work out. But I have all the confidence in the world that on Tuesday against Florida State that we'll be in a similar position and he'll come through.
Yeah, he said it all. We have all the confidence in our guys. So just continuing to just back them. And like he said, on Tuesday we'll get it done.
Any questions right here?
Matt Towery from World Baseball Network. Parks, you guys got your first hit in the top of the 4th inning. What's just the dilemma for you guys to just, get on the board early on Tuesday?
Yeah, I think just keep doing what we're doing, just be confident and kind of attack. Sometimes I feel like we've kind of been on our heels recently, and so we just kind of need to go out there aggressive and just kind of let it all out there and just play with no regrets.
Do you have any other questions for the student athletes right here?
Wes Rucker, 24/7 Sports. Question for Parks and Vance. When you saw that play that Colby made there in the first inning, is there part of, right to lead off the game? Is there part, in first? Is it like, hey, this is going to be a good night? It just seemed like that was one of those plays that really gets kind of something started.
Yeah, for sure. Colby's been really good there, all year. So just Christian Moore smoked that ball, and Colby made a great play. And, just continuing to make great plays behind our pitchers.
Okay, back down here.
Both guys, if you don't mind, again, how would you gauge the mood in the locker room after this loss? As Coach alluded to, you're not done, ain't done yet. What would you say the vibes are like in there, coming off this loss, knowing that you're facing elimination now?
Yeah, personally for me, I'm really excited. Really, really excited to get out there for another opportunity on Tuesday. This is the most fun I've ever had playing baseball. I'm not going to let this loss kind of, ruin any of my experiences here. I'm going to be so grateful that I have another opportunity to go out there and play, and just going to kind of leave it all out there and just be ready to go.
One more question for the student athletes. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I apologize. Go ahead.
I couldn't really say any better, so I just kind of let it go.
Do we have any other questions for the student athletes? Okay, Vance and Parks, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll open up questions for Coach. Do we have any hands? Right, we'll have one rep here and one up front up there. We can start over here.
Grace Nugent, Inside Carolina. Coach, what's your message to the team after this? Again, you said it. They lost one, but they still got one to play.
Yeah, that's what I told them. I said, move on. We have a 24-hour rule when we win. But after we lose, even quicker. You got to walk out and it's gone. The great thing about this format, I've been in it. In 2006, we won the first 3, we won the first 4, and we didn't end up winning it. 2007, we lost the same game and we made it to the national championship. So I feel like we had the pitching to bounce back, and I just told them to keep their heads up. You're at the College World Series. You have a great opportunity ahead of you. We'll get back, take a shower, turn your loops in, eat a meal together, get some sleep, and get back to work tomorrow.
Question right up front, right here.
Ariel Bonin, Tar Heel Tribune. You have 3 consecutive games with 3 runs or fewer. Obviously, the pitching's been good. Can you put your finger on any other dynamic that's going on there?
No, I think a lot of that is the guy on the mound. You got to give him credit and look at who you're facing. And hitting is contagious. I feel like the one thing that kind of lets the air out is when you get those guys on, somebody hits a ball in the gap, somebody hits a ball over the wall, somebody gets hit by a pitch. We just haven't been able to have a big inning, but we're very capable of doing that, and it can flip just like that. That's the thing about baseball.
Can you talk about that, the inning, it's kind of the rally-killing pickoff, and how that can...
Yeah, D'Onofrio's a really good base runner. Him and Vance generally have the green light. We all make mistakes. Anthony made a mistake. I've made mistakes throughout the year as well as everybody else on the team, so we'll learn from it, and he'll let it teach them, and we'll let it happen again, hopefully.
Right here.
Monty Taylor, College Baseball Central. Moments after they were eliminated, Brian O'Connor is standing there, and he takes the time to stop you and your team at times and wish you guys luck and provide some encouragement. What does that say about the support of the conference as a whole and him in particular?
Yeah, I think it says more about him in particular. Brian is what coaching's about. He cares about his players. He's been a tremendous friend to me. He's been a head coach a long time. I haven't been a head coach a long time, but he has always treated me like basically I was a head coach. It didn't matter to him. It's just who he is. And we're pulling for each other except when we play each other. And obviously he wants us to do well because we're good friends, but he also respects the way we play, and he knows we respect the way they play.
We're going to go 1, 2, 3, then 4.
Scott, when you say you have the pitching to be able to get it done over the longer course that you have to go now, what do you mean by that? What does that entail? What does that look like to you?
Well, I probably should rephrase that. We have the pitching, I think, to compete with Florida State. That's all you can focus on right now. I have to keep the guys away, and I'll talk to them tonight when we eat. You don't look at what you have to do. You just look at what you can do right now. And that is literally going back and getting a good night's rest and hydrating. It was hot out today. Getting our good lift in tomorrow. And then when we play Florida State, I do feel like we've got enough guys that we can compete. It's a really good offensive lineup, and we'll take it pitch by pitch. And if we beat Florida State, then hopefully we'll have enough guys to compete against Tennessee again.
Okay, we'll go right up front here. Sorry.
We'll start Aiden Houtt most likely.
Okay, right here.
Coach, honestly, Adam took my question, so I'm kind of scrambling here. What can you say about what Shea did? I mean, he was moving right along for those first 3 innings, kind of ran into some trouble in the 4th. How do you think he performed?
He has difference in the game. They made some mistakes too on the mound. I'm sure I'm going to see that when I go back and watch the game tonight. Shea made that mistake with 2 outs, and winning games, you got to have some clutch and get those 2 out hits, and we've had a lot of that in the postseason, and they had it tonight. I believe it was Tears that hit that ball. Is that correct? Got to give him credit. Just a change up in the zone. He did what you should do with that mistake. But I tell you, I really thought we pitched it well enough to win the game, and even pitched it better than 6 runs. They just capitalized and got that big hit and didn't leave many guys on base.
Okay, right here.
Brendan Lunga, Daily Tar Heel. After a game like this, where you maybe don't get the offensive output that you were looking for, what do your conversations look like with Coach Wiersbicki heading into the next?
We won't have one. It's just baseball. You move on. You don't really talk about it at all. These guys know what they're capable of doing. My job is to instill that confidence in them and say, hey, move on, because it can flip just like that. We could have scored 12 runs tomorrow, and the guy, today, and the guy the next game could have been on, and we don't get but 2 hits. So I'm just going to tell them to do what they've been doing, Coach Wears is unbelievable with our hitters. If anything, I'll tell them to take a step back and don't take too many swings tomorrow and save those swings and get that bat speed ready for Florida State.
You go right here.
Yeah, Kevin Brockway. Good night. Florida State, obviously another conference team that you're going to face. The familiarity of that, I mean, how does that play into the matchup? And what are your impressions of how they're playing now?
Really good club. Link's a heck of a coach. They've got really good players. But we haven't played this season. We missed each other. So we'll look forward to that challenge, playing each other. But they're extremely offensive. Some high picks in that lineup, and it'll be a big challenge for us. But we feel like we'll be up for that challenge.
Last two questions here and there.
After Maddie, if they'd had been a one-run deficit, would your pitching approach been different? You were able to give Dalton the day off. You threw a lot of guys who hadn't pitched for a while. Would the approach have been different with a one-run game?
Yeah, absolutely. What you don't want to do is when you're behind by a certain amount of runs, you want to stay in the game. But you also, there's some certain guys that you're not going to put in unless you bridge the gap, maybe get within two. But again, I thought all these guys I thought they were aggressive. You're talking 1, 2, 3, 5 guys that have never pitched in the College World Series. I know if I'd have been out there, I'd have had some major butterflies, and I thought they all were aggressive and they looked really, really good. And we're going to need all of them to get back through this bracket, and I've got confidence in all of them.
Last question right here.
In the vein of talking about capitalizing, was there anything in specific that Beam and the Tennessee staff did in particular that you think made it hard to kind of find that offensive rhythm?
Beam's good. He's way better in the windup, and we couldn't get him in the stretch much. I thought he did a good job of moving his fastballs to both, his fastball to both sides of the plate, and he's got the good curveball. He threw a couple good changeups to our lefties. Connell's always been good for them. He's a tough look. He's a tough angle, especially on lefties. And he came in and did his job. And we had some chances against Snead. Obviously, I thought we had really good at-bats against him, throwing 95, 98, touching 99. We didn't strike out. Only 2 walks. But, we got those mistakes, and we didn't capitalize on them. But I don't know without watching the video how many mistakes Drew Beam made, because I could go back and watch and be like, man, he was really, really good. Didn't give us many mistakes. So I thought him and Connell were both really good.
Coach, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.